sense. It's not, words disappear when a friend of 40 years passes away all of a sudden. But at the same time, one goes on talking. Mone mone tar shonge onorgol kotha cholte thake. And then there are those, and then one goes back again and again to his writings, to the numerous posts, to numerous conversations with people, and to fantastic images of him circulating everywhere. Wonderful expressions. That too is another kind of conversation, and more intensely, and perhaps his reappearance in a different form altogether. I remember that philosopher who, on a similar occasion, once had reminded us about our ethical responsibility. The responsibility that came with deep admiration and feelings, and not to speak of him, take niye bola noy, tar hoye bola, to speak for him, to talk about his, to bring forward again his writings, his sayings in particular contexts, and from there, within our own receptions, our own interpretations, give them a new form, give them a new meaning, and keep them alive amongst all of us. These ethical responsibility, context, bhashya, etc., these are words that were given very, very new dimensions by Probal. And the vast horizons were opened up by our friend, the linguist and the Esperantist, Probal Dasgupta. My intellectual friendship with Probal, which goes back 40 years, I consider that to be life's, a rare gift of life, a rare gift from life, a kind of grace, a gift that cannot be measured. As all of you said, and as all of you know, we don't need to reiterate that, especially because time is short, but this was his, I was dazzled by his intellect, by his ability to work, so many other qualities, but I will not go into all that. But I will just talk again once more about the care that he brought to all his friends. Again, I will not give instances, time is short. I will just look at one or two of his quotes, and then I will stop. So, somewhere I came across this. He's writing conversations, he said it was important to allow conversations between conversations to flourish. And while doing that, to find ways to sideline the effects of power. And on the 1st of June, when I was returning from Boral with a few students from the linguistics department of Jadavpur, they were talking to me about their Facebook reactions, Probal's Facebook reactions to them, and I realized his active role in the Facebook for the last few years, to let conversations between conversations flourish in order to find ways to sideline the effects of power. Probal was writing very clearly and in a very minute way. he was thinking about the effects of power and the places where power reigned in the last few years particularly, I think. And one cannot think of Probal, of course, without thinking of Esperanto. This is another quotation from him. Esperanto, optimal image of a community's way of expressing its openness. I will quote this in Bangla, sorry. Esperanto adote ekta kajer jayga. সে কাজ হলো এমন অপক্ষপাতী নিরপেক্ষ মঞ্চ তৈরি করে চালু রাখা যেখানে দাঁড়িয়ে সকলের সঙ্গে সমানে সমানে যথাসাধ্য পারস্পরিকতা মনস্ক কথাবার্তা চালাতে সবার সুবিধে হবে। পারস্পরিকতার পূর্ব শর্ত হলো বক্তার দিকে বা শ্রোতার দিকে পাল্লা ঝুঁকে না যায় সেইটা দেখা। This was also his opinion with relation to translations. He writes more on these issues, and he writes about justice from this point onwards. And I also think that Esperanto was also behind his substantivist thoughts in linguistics. It played a very important role. Esperanto played a very important role as he formulated his thoughts on substantive linguistics. And how one can do this, how to keep justice alive, how to reawaken thoughts of justice in people. That he thought was one of the most important works that one could address oneself to. And how one could do that, if Probal's writings give you a hint of how that is possible. And so we need to go back again and again to his works. We need to carry on the conversation. I would like to go back to that philosopher, and he had asked, but will there be an answer? If you ask, will there be an answer? Yes, there will be. You have to look deep within yourself. Attor Gahane. And kintu Attorupe noy, not as yourself, as a completely different voice that will keep on resonating. With respect to all of you, সকলকে শ্রদ্ধা জানিয়ে মানুশ্রী, আবির আর খাওলাকে ভালোবাসা আর প্রবালকে বন্ধুত্বের প্রতিশ্রুতি জানিয়ে শেষ করছি। ধন্যবাদ।